Well, hey there, welcome to Tarot to a T. We're going to get started on the September readings. So if you're watching this, I hope your September is fantastic. But this reading today, we're going to focus on Aries. And if I sound a little weird, I admit this is the COVID version of Tarot to a T. I have had COVID. Not too severely, but I think my voice is still a little strange. Oh, and I am still staying home, so I haven't been doing a lot of talking lately. But I thought I'd go ahead and dig into these September readings. Please tell us, what does Aries need to know for the month of September? Hopefully it doesn't involve COVID. Hey, I still have my sense of humor, right? So, things are looking up. There we go. Okay, a couple more cards, please. Nice. Might be something brewing here for Aries. One more card, then we'll ask for cards of advice. Oh, and if this is your first time, thank you for joining me. And if you're returning, thank you for coming back. Alright. Now, cards of advice for the sign of Aries. Okay, flipped up there, but I flipped it back over. We'll get to that in a second. And there's another one that kind of flipped up. Looks like you got some people involved with that. Tons of face cards coming up. Oh, okay. Jeez. I think the advice is going to be good. It's hot. It's hot, Aries. This is exciting. One more card of advice and we'll dig into it. Alright. Let's see what we can muster up here for Aries. Seven of Diamonds is something you're experiencing here. Requires a bit of caution. This is about not taking risks. It can involve money. I won't lie, because we also have the Two of Diamonds here. And the Seven of Clubs, interestingly, is about, you know what, with the Seven of Diamonds and the Seven of Clubs, this just hit me. So with the Seven of Clubs, you're feeling confined in some way. Seven of Diamonds is telling you to watch the risks. I think you're feeling confined with money. I think you've got a fair amount at your disposal. Or, you know what I mean? It's kind of a windfall, but not really. It's not like a bonus or like an inheritance, but you got some kind of money at your disposal at the moment, and you're feeling like you have to restrain yourself. There's definitely the card of definitely restraining yourself, not taking unreasonable risks here, but there's also the card of feeling trapped. So I think you're kind of stuck in this place of you want to spend it, but you can't. Yeah, that's very specific. The Two of Diamonds with this card of feeling trapped is actually about finances being very balanced in a good place. It's actually a lot of good news. So I do think you've come into some kind of money for some reason, and I haven't finished, uncovering the information here, but this is a very, very, very specific energy, and it's very interesting to me. That's why I'm kind of focused on it. Because on one hand, like I said, it's saying be careful. Maybe you're feeling confined because you feel like you're going to make the wrong move. It's kind of like a lack of confidence kind of vibe. Like you're going to take a risk that you shouldn't. You know what I mean? So you're a little skeptical, you're definitely cautious. But the money's in a balanced place, so I'm not quite sure what's going on. If it fits your situation, by all means, take it. But here you have a new start. With the Ace of Clubs, you're also looking at learning some kind of new skill. So maybe the money has opened up doors for you, or I'm actually hearing a new job. You have like a new position where you're learning new skills, and maybe as a result, you have more money coming in. Or maybe you are like in some kind of position where you get to allocate money. Maybe you're in some kind of accounting role or finance role where you actually get to control money in some way. Does that make sense? And so that's the feeling trapped and also being afraid of taking a gamble or a risk. That would totally make sense. Eight of Clubs, Queen of Diamonds, we got another money card or finances abundance card here. Very strong theme going on. With the Eight of Clubs, interestingly, you're looking at a crossroads decision, and also there's an element of being stuck on an idea of probably how things should go. But nonetheless, it is a crossroads decision. Okay? The Queen of Diamonds, now this could be you, or it could be somebody else like an earth sign. A Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. This is basically their card. I actually see this as the card of Taurus. Kind of like, now if you're a male Taurus, don't take offense, but I kind of see it as the strong female Taurus is very iconic. Very, very, I don't know if it's a common combination, but I've met a lot of very strong female Tauruses. And I don't know, there's something about the queen element of it, it just kind of, it rings true that it's a strong female Taurus with a very good head on her shoulders. They're very practical, they're very good with money, usually they don't overspend. That could be kind of the role that you're taking. You could have Taurus in your chart. We can't forget that, right? But the decision card under here and being stuck on an idea is also a Taurus energy, because Tauruses can get stuck on just kind of fixed ideas. Like when they feel a certain way about things, that's the way it has to go. I'm not sure if that's maybe another person you're dealing with, or that's kind of the role that you're taking. But there's definitely an element here of learning new skills or learning how to navigate this new territory and controlling this money. There's something about controlling money. Finances, abundance. Take it how it fits. Throw it away if it doesn't fit, by all means. Check out another Aries video if you want. The playlist will be at the end of the video for the other Aries video, like if you want to look at the mid-August video, for example. See what else we could dig up here. Wow. So the Seven of Spades, you got a lot of sevens. This is about experience. Definitely heavy element of experience that you're going through and around finances. Just denoting that. But with the Seven of Spades, you're looking at uncovering some kind of information that wasn't apparent before, or it was intentionally hidden from you. Okay, sometimes it can be a little bit disturbing because it can involve another person and you not starting to realize, but suddenly realizing that someone's not being upfront with you, for example. That kind of thing. It came out with the Four of Spades, which is interesting because this is about stability and security around the home life. And like I was saying with the Two of Diamonds, I don't see any indication that you have an unstable home. But to finish that thought, sorry, I was just trying to make a connection here, but this is about being comfortable at home. The Spades energy can indicate there was some stress, and now there's not. So there's like an element of stress relief around the home life. It came out with the Seven of Spades, so maybe, I don't know, maybe you found out some truths around your living situation, although I didn't see a lot of relationship element come out here. But I think what's pivotal to whatever was uncovered and whatever has caused this stress relief or brought in this stress relief pivots around the money or the finances. So I don't think it's necessarily you being in like a role where you're now like a job, a career where you're controlling finances, but something has changed in your personal life. Yeah, that's going to fit a very specific scenario, obviously. Let's see if we can dig a little bit more up before we ask for or look at our cards of advice. What else can we tell Aries? Is there a Taurus involved? Is Aries also a Taurus moon, for example? Three of Diamonds. There is a third element. I do think this could be a person, or you're looking at another element that's contributing to this overall situation. This kind of expounds on the fact that you don't quite know how to handle the financial dealings here. Feeling confined, just to refresh your memory and refresh my own, and also being afraid of taking a risk. This is about confusion around that. The Three of Diamonds. There's some kind of another element. I'm not picking up person. There's some kind of another element that's making this situation difficult for you. I think you're trying to embody this Queen of Diamonds here. Again, not gender specific. It's just like you're trying to take the responsibility, not in a dominant way, because I don't think you're feeling necessarily confident about this. There's a confidence issue, right? Because of the teetering back and forth. And there's definitely confusion, and there's stress relief, and I'd really like to know what was the thing that was uncovered. I think that's kind of the hidden element, at least here for me. Was there an element or information that was uncovered? What can you tell us about that? For that Seven of Spades. Please give us a card to expound on that Seven of Spades. Kind of broaden our understanding of that. Eight of Spades. Wow. So the 8 is generally about moving ahead and not being stuck on a situation. This is actually workaholic card. This is around having challenges, dealing with work, working too hard. Interestingly enough, the opposite of the Four of Spades, this is about the stress. This is about something affecting your health, your mental health. I asked specifically what this information that was uncovered. Perhaps the information that came out was that you were working too hard. Or somebody around you was involved in a stressful situation. I'm not really seeing the connection there. If that fits your life and what's going on, then it might make sense to you. That's kind of what I'm getting here. I'm just not seeing. I'm not being shown the specifics of that. I will keep thinking on it though, and maybe that connection will come to me. But something about work. Let's go ahead and look at our cards of advice. Queen of Hearts, very nice. Very similar to the Queen of Diamonds over here, except she's more nurturing and motherly, and she's the one that's going to give you good advice and try to guide you. And the Jack of Spades. This is my card of either you have somebody around you who is playing you, and I mean like somebody with a hidden agenda, or it's your card of being afraid that somebody's not being upfront with you. Like it's a little bit of a paranoia card. If you've watched me before, I've kind of described, like it's just kind of your inner fear that you're gonna get taken advantage of somehow, or somebody's hiding something from you. Six of Hearts is actually nice. Now this is talking more about relationship. I think because it's definitely talking more about emotions. We have the Queen of Hearts as well. Perhaps the advice is pointing in the direction of get out of your head, because this is all kind of head stuff, stress relief, making decisions, and it's definitely about finances. It's very, very likely it's asking you to put your heart in these matters a little bit more and use your emotions. Two of Clubs. So again, we're looking at harmony and balance in some aspect. This is not talking necessarily about finances, but this is about the need for communication. Just clarifying, I think in the line of advice, that would be a very, very clear message for somebody in some situation, that communication needs to happen. It could the talking could be involving family, because we did see the Six of Hearts here. I do want to mention the Six of Hearts is also about new opportunities, new doors, new paths to take. It's also about the path being clear to pursue new relationships. So I don't know if there's not a significant relationship involved. It looks like if you put your heart first in these matters, that's going to open up for you. I've said this in other videos, so if you haven't heard this before, I'm going to go ahead and repeat it. Sometimes I think when we lock up energy in one area of our life, such as work, finances, that kind of thing, we exclude and block energy opening up in other areas, like relationships, like meeting the perfect person, like improving a relationship. Perhaps you're already involved, and if you unlock focusing on this as much, it's going to free up your energy in those areas. I hope that makes sense. I'm definitely seeing that with this Queen of Hearts, for example. That's a very nurturing card. That's not necessarily you going to somebody and getting nurturing. That's perhaps you taking that role, being more kind to yourself, listening to your emotions, listening to your heart, your emotional needs. The Jack of Spades energy could be just you resisting that a little bit, being a little bit cautious about opening your heart. But there's a definite need for communication in some areas, so I feel like this is speaking to an Aries who's involved with somebody, or there's somebody around. Doesn't have to be a romantic partner. Just could be some other type of family, what you consider family. What else can you tell Aries and their advice in this situation around their finances and all these decisions? King of Spades. This is about taking control. Could be an element of a person who is involved who you feel like is controlling the situation, because this person can cause problems. Doesn't mean they have bad intentions, doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means they are objecting to something and they're not in agreement with something, so that causes the friction, that causes the problem. But they generally have a very good sense of, they have very good judgment when it comes to making decisions. That's what I'm trying to say. They have a very good head on their shoulders. So they're very practical, that, along those lines. It could be that you need to take more solid control of what's going on here. Because like I said, there's a lot of element of lack of confidence. Talked about that, right? The stress relief that is occurring, or that you need, because we had two cards of stress around work in some manner, although I haven't seen a lot of career involved with this. But for most people, income and finances are involved with work. Um, if you take control, perhaps by putting up, you know what, I just heard boundaries. That's where you cause the problems. Put up boundaries and you say, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm only going to work 40 hours a week. No, I'm not going to overextend myself and, you know, sacrifice my mental health, my physical health. I feel like that's what that king is kind of saying. And here's the card of communication. You need to talk and you need to get it out there. So I think that's where the communication comes in. You stating very clearly what you will and won't do, and that's going to bring these new opportunities to fulfill you on this emotional level. You know, the potential to meet someone. I'm not saying that you are, but that at least opens the potential. Aries, if you haven't had that in your life and you're missing it, you need it, that kind of thing. One more card, please, before we wrap this up. I feel like we kind of got a strong message here for somebody. I just don't know exactly what all this means, but nonetheless, Seven of Hearts, you got all the damn sevens out here. The Seven of Hearts is about somebody breaking your heart or being let down by somebody. Not like in a romantic sense necessarily, although it could be. It's just like feeling like you put a lot of faith in something or somebody and you got disappointed. They became a flake. They became unreliable. It seemed really good in the beginning and then it kind of took a nosedive. That's what this card is about. I think there's an element here of emotional needs needing to be taken care of. The nurturing card. You've probably had this disappointment in the past, which is why you're a little bit skeptical. But the promise in this reading, Aries, don't want you to walk away thinking you have all this inner turmoil and there's no solution. There's some promise here of new opportunities if you communicate your needs. I think that the communicating the needs is not the emotional relationship aspects necessarily. I think it's about setting boundaries with how much you're going to put in this work effort. I think that King of Spades is definitely about some kind of a thing that you're involved in, because I'm not getting a clear message if it's like your job or you're like a business owner, for example, and you're just putting in too many damn hours and it's causing you a lot of stress. We have the big stress card here. The confusion around money, I just got this, is if you back off that effort, perhaps you have this inner confusion of, is this going to bite you in the butt? Are you going to like lose your net worth if you back off? Like, you know what I mean? Like the fear, if I don't put 120% in, am I going to fail? Am I suddenly going to find that my money is hemorrhaging? I'm hemorrhaging money. I think you're afraid of losing the financial security that you have. Gosh, that would totally make sense with this feeling trapped. Seven of Clubs. Okay, but being very balanced in finances and then being really afraid of taking risks. And perhaps if you are on an entrepreneurial path, this Ace of Clubs is going to be prominent in your life because you're always feeling like you have to constantly stay on top, right? Learn new skills, watch for potential problems, and how things run, making sure, sorry, I'm stuttering, making sure that things run smoothly at all times is kind of like always being in that kind of green position. You can't just lay back and relax and just let it go. I think that's what the king here needs to do, though. The king here needs to let go of some of that control. I will say this before I wrap this up. And this other 7, these 7s are really dominant here. That's why I'm focusing on them. This is about uncovering truth. I think you've uncovered the truth of the matter is that, yes, you're reaping the rewards of your success, but it's taking a toll. Taking a toll. A need for stress relief around home matters. That's going to open up your heart, and you're going to be able to pursue the emotional aspects of your life that have been neglected. Wow. There's a lot going on here, Aries. I apologize for my voice. I'm still kind of rough, but I hope the message came through here clear, and I hope it helped you. If you liked the video, give me a big thumbs up if you don't mind. Go ahead and hit subscribe and notifications if you want to be notified when the mid-September video comes out, okay? You'll be sure not to miss it. And like I said, the playlist, if it hasn't already popped up, if you would like to go back and review August, there is an August and a mid-August reading for you. Okay? Thank you for joining me, and take care. Until I see you again.